Hey there, hey friends, Ken here, your Thrifty Apprentice. Happy Monday, everyone. I hope you all are doing well and welcome back to the channel. Today we have ourselves a real-time video premiere. What does that mean? That means that the video itself is pre-recorded, but the chat will be live and I will be in the chat live to chit chat with you guys, answer any questions you may have. We can talk about anything as the video plays, as we pay attention to the video, or as we just explore other ideas on art. But the chat is open to each and every person that is going to be watching this premiere so that we can all converse. And I will have a message that is going to go across the bottom of the screen letting you know that the chat is live, to please join in the conversation, and it will be on the screen the full time because I want anyone who comes into the premiere to know that the chat is going on. All right, friends. Now, of course, Mondays are normally our regularly scheduled Monday morning lives. And because I could not get to a live today, I did not want to leave you guys without art creation and just us sharing in the whole joy of art together. So we are doing a premiere. And I am, again, leaving this full-time, real-time. We're going to take it just like we would do a live session. So what I'm going to be doing today is tackling a field test, or this is actually the third field test, my friends, for the Filmuhi 24 color set of solid opaque watercolors. Now, I've been playing with them. I'm still not quite sure how I feel about them. I really did want to get in one other illustration so that I can get down what I feel is a good grasp of the performance of the actual paint before I get around to doing a review video on them. Now, just so you guys know, there wasn't anything new that came into the studio to be discussing. And as far as things that we've already done, you can check out this past Wednesday's video where we had the release of the snowdrop painting come out, if you want to check that out. And then of course you can back up to last Monday's video where what were we doing? We were playing around with something. We were playing around with the Meeden 100% cotton kit. We played around with this kit. So definitely go check out last Monday's live if you missed it, and this past Wednesday if you missed the painting of the snowdrops, which was done with a novelty set. It was done with Master's Touch Fine Art Studio 36 counter semi-Morse watercolor cakes. I've had this set for years and years. So I decided to pull it out and use it this past Wednesday's pre-recorded video. So definitely go check that out if you missed either of those. We will be going live tonight at 8 p.m. inside the Creation Station. So that live will be put up in Patreon a little after this particular video premieres, so that it'll be bookmarked and make it easy for any of the Creation Station members to, of course, click right into tonight's regularly scheduled 8 p.m. live. If you're not a member of the Creation Station, I do suggest that you check the video description for the Patreon link. Head on over, click on membership, read the description for the Creation Station, and join on up if it sounds like something that will be exciting to you. Yeah, so let's go ahead and jump into what we are doing in this video today. So what we're going to be using today, of course, is the 24 solid watercolors. And I'm going to be painting in my Potentate 100% cotton, 140 pound cold press, acid-free watercolor sketchbook. This particular one is 5x5. Of course, you guys know this is definitely the year that I am definitely going to be aiming to use up as many sketchbooks as I can. And this size, 5x5 is 5x5, I'm sorry. It's a pretty decent size, especially for doing a video that you're going to be keeping like real time, because it's big enough for you to get the point, and it's small enough to not have to paint something really big that'll consume up a lot of you guys' time. So I'm using a few brushes here. These are some Artigra Intuition brushes. I have a number 6 round, a number 3 round, a number 6 flat, and I have a Royal and Langnickel Zen All Media liner brush, short hair liner brush. So I think that's going to be enough. If I need anything else, I'll just reach to grab it. And I want to point out before I get started how I'm going to be kind of playing with these today. Now, this is sort of an experimental project, mainly because This is a really muted and super opaque grayscale palette. All of these are just different variations of a gray watercolor. But it is laid out, as far as each hue is concerned, on a step scale, almost like you would expect with opaque mediums like alcohol markers or oil pastels. So for instance, there's a red gray, and then you have a red gray 1 is your lightest, red gray 2 is your medium tone, and a red gray 3 is your dark. This actually helps make it really easy for value. So I'm kind of going to be playing off of the system that what seems to be built into the palette already in order to paint this image of 3 macarons stacked on top of each other with a little bow around it. Thought it was something really cute. Now for those members that are, for those people, excuse me, those viewers, people who are watching that are already members of the Creation Station, you do have a traceable available for download just in case you did not want to draw it out. But it's really easy. It's just macarons with, you know, a little bow tied around it, a little sash. So I'm thinking color schemes here. I think I'll go with a red gray macaron. We'll go with a blue gray macaron. We'll go with the purple gray macaron, because the yellow gray doesn't seem all that yellow to me, but it's really close to the warm gray. You can see the yellow undertone. I still just think they're close. So I don't know. We're just gonna play and see what happens. Now, if you happen to be sketching yourself, you don't have to sketch on as dark as I did, but I sketched on pretty dark there simply because I want to make sure that you guys will be able to see it. And I know that I'm using an opaque medium, so more than likely I'll be able to cover the lines with no issues. And if not, it'll just leave the structure. I don't mind seeing graphite in my illustrations. You'll have to do what you like, whatever's best for you. So I'm gonna start off with the base coating in, and I think I'm gonna go with the medium tone to base, especially since I know they're opaque. That way I can add in the darker tone and add in the lighter tones. So I'll base with the medium tone. Let's start with, I definitely wanna get a red one in, so let's start with the red gray, number 2. And I will just, let's go with the one on top, why not? We'll base this one in. I'm using the number 6 round brush if I'm not mistaken. And these colors are so muted. So I mean, like, I feel like they worked really well. I did a landscape with them inside the Creation Station, and I feel like they worked really, really well for that landscape. Just because of how muted and kind of dull. They cover really well, and this is almost mass tone that I'm painting with, but they're definitely opaque. You can see that from the jump. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the bottom part of the cookie, base that in. And I'm going to be using the layering process on this, so I'm not going to do too much wet into wet. Maybe just a touch. Just get that. And it may turn into ink and wash before it's all said and done. We'll just have to see what happens. I guess I could go ahead and try to put in just a little dark here. See if we can, just a little bit on the edges. We'll see how that blends together, especially since it's still a little damp. So I just wanna, and I said I wasn't gonna try any wet in the wet, but you know, I went right for it, right? It's such a habit. Let's just see what we can do here. We'll add that dark tone in, and we can always enhance it later if we need to. I feel like I need to add back in, and I'm gonna pull most of the water off my brush to make sure that I'm just working with pigment. And just go in and add on a second coat. That'll kind of blend everything. All right, we'll get to see. Let's try something that's not touching. Let's go down here and do our bottom cookie. Since that cookie is sort of hidden, maybe I'll go with the yellow gray. Excuse me. I love this little bubble palette. I've had it for quite a while, but it is so cool. Let's get in that yellow. So I'm using yellow gray 2 here. Now, if you have another muted set of watercolors that you want to use, or you can definitely do this in gouache. You could use your Genze 10 by paint if you have that. Trying to think of some other sets, because I definitely know that Genze 10 by have those Art Nouveau paints in this set. I could see those working, or kind of being similar. And I feel like I should add more here, especially since it's going to be on the bottom under the ribbon. Doesn't really look all that yellow to me. And as you can see, it's definitely opaque enough to cover my pencil, my graphite line. So that's what I was saying. Let's try a little bit of the darker yellow gray. So this is a yellow gray 3. And I'm going to just brush some of this in around the area where the bow is touching the cookie. And definitely down here on the bottom part. I'll just do that entire area down there darker. Kind of sharpen it up a little bit. And at this point, I'm kind of painting directly from the pen. Make sure I'm not adding too much more water. Now I'll rinse it. I'm gonna go back to that original yellow 2. Just kind of blend that in. I don't know if I like that. I mean, it looks so. I get it. It's yellow. It's a gray. It's a gray. It's a really muted tone. In the middle, but right now I'm gonna go back up here and see if I can work on this one. So I'll switch over to this liner brush, and I'm going to thinly cover the part of my cookie that it's gonna have texture on it. So I'm covering it with my lightest layer first. Very little water. And then I'll go in with my red gray number 2 with this liner brush. Make sure we get enough of it on there. And I'm going to see if we can give it some texture. Add just a little water to that. And I'm just gonna kind of scrub that on in different areas, making sure to continue to let some of that lighter color I put on show through. You can't really see the cream in these, so now I'll switch over to my dark red. And we're going to make sure to divide our cookie here. And just kind of darkening the top and the bottom. This is not, this is not transparent watercolor, so I am just kind of going with the flow. That's way too thick. Excuse me. It's really almost like painting with gouache, if the truth be told. It's basically what it is. It's just like painting with gouache. I'm gonna go in with some of the lighter pink gray. See if I can get enough of it on my brush to make a difference here. I don't think that little liner is gonna cut it. I'm gonna switch over to this number 3 round and see if I can get a little bit better look with this more flexible brush. This is a synthetic squirrel. I do like that a little better. It'll look a little bit better once we get some highlights on it. And I'm not worried about that. I'm just having fun with the paints. Let's see. Let's go with the darker red here. And just put in a little bit of a shadow indication there, just to give that cookie a little bit more roundness. And I went back to the liner brush in order to do this. And I'm slowly mixing red 3 into red 2 in order to get this variation of color. I think that's gonna work for that one. Let me see if I can blend out some of this darker color. I have to admit that these paints are very unique, and they're not gonna be for everyone. Let me just say that. If you are a super transparent water lover, you're probably not gonna like this. Super transparent watercolor lover, I'm sorry. You're probably not gonna like these at all. If you're looking for a hybrid between gouache and watercolor, although this is not a review, they really. There's another set of paints I have that kind of performs like this. Akashi or Akasha, something like that. I'll have to look at the box again, but they're like a Ganza type paint as well. And then I'm gonna go in with some, I wanna do warm or cool. I'm gonna go in with Cool Grade 3. I know that's dark, but I'm gonna use it as a little shadow in there as well. I just really need to make sure that that cookie divides. Now I mixed a black there from another project. Grab just a touch of it. Okay, I think we're gonna call that good on that macaron until we get around to putting some highlights on it. These paints is really easy to, I feel like, to go kind of overboard with them. I'm gonna switch back down here to this yellow, yellow gray, and I'm going in with the yellow grade 3. I am being a little heavy here. I really spread that darker color around, because it would really be wrapped. I don't know. I'm just gonna trust the process, and hopefully this is gonna come out in some type of nice way. See if I can brush that back some, like that. That might work. I'm gonna do a little heavier under the top cookie here. Under the cookie, because it would definitely be even darker there. I may go in with some black there as well. We'll see. Okay. I don't think I can go any further at the moment. I really need to give that a second to dry. And because we are doing a pre-recorded video, I don't have to bother you guys with the dryer. I can dry this and then come right back. Let's go in and do the one in the middle, and I think I am going to go for now that's funny, that's called brown. It looks like it has a red undertone to it. Let's see. The yellow there, it's gonna either be blue or green. I think I will do blue. Why not? Okay. Let's do blue. And I'm gonna start with blue gray 2. And I'll be using hopefully I'm gonna be using the lighter ones to kind of highlight with. Or maybe we'll do this one with blending the highlight in. Let's see if we can do that. So I'm going to pull back some of it right here. And I'll grab some of the lighter blue. And blend that in. And then we'll go ahead and grab some of the darker blue and blend that in on the side. Maybe that's how I should have done them all to begin with. Okay. And they are quite opaque, even with a little small wash. It works pretty well. Let's do that again. Let's see if we can replicate that. Let's go in with the medium blue in these areas. And then I'll go in with the lighter blue just there on the bridge. And then the darker blue will blend in on the edges and across the bottom and under the top. Doing it this way is not quite, it doesn't seem as heavy on the color. Wish I had have done them all that way. That's okay. That one seems a little rough to me. So I'm just kind of re-blending colors. And go ahead and do that bottom cookie as well, bottom part of the cookie. And I'll try to do both ends at the same time. That's really, 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 really a lot of paint. I really should be using a smaller brush, I feel like. Go in with this lighter color. Add just a touch of water to that. Get it to spread. kind of blend those together. And we'll do the same over on this side. A little bit more of that lighter color there. These work better when you blend them into each other, like wet and the wet. I love this effect. Okay. I'm going to grab some of the lighter red at this point. Going back to the red gray, and I just want to see if I can brush, since it's opaque, brushed it on the top a little bit just to give that a little bit more lightness. So I'm going in with the red gray number 1, and just adding a little highlight to this macaron up here, because it just felt like it was really dark. And then I'll do the same to the one we just finished, adding just a little bit of the highlight color to everything across the top of it. Go back in with that darker blue and see if we can just darken up some stuff while it's still a little wet and blend it out. Okay, I'm going to see if I can blend out this little harsh line I have over here. They're a little bit too harsh in that area for me. Let's spread some of that color around. All right, now I'm going to base in this part with some color. I'm gonna go in for our little cakey area. So I'm gonna start off with my lightest color, just basing it in there. I'll switch over to this little liner brush we were using earlier and go in with my medium tone blue. Let's see if we can get some texture in here. On both sides. And I'm not really being too precise. I'm just going for the overall impression. Just seeing how the paints allow me to play with them. I'll go in with the darker blue now. I need to add a little water to that because it's not coming off my brush. I really say this should be considered more of a gouache. No doubt about it. It's nice. In its own little way, it is nice. It would take me like, because I'm so used to painting with like transparent watercolors, it would take me a second to really get super used to these. But it could definitely happen. I think I want to give that area a little time to dry before I go in there with some of that like black and dark gray I was using in the top one. Let's see, we have this little area here, which is actually the yellow macaron foot. That's what you call like that little area of the foot. I don't know, I might go in with some pen on this. And I am just painting it the same way. Get a little texture right there. And then I'll go in there with some darks in just a minute. Trying to see, can I paint my ribbon? I think I can go ahead and paint that ribbon. Let's save the actual bow part for last. So let's do the bow purple. Let's go in with our lightest purple gray, number 1. And it picked up some of that yellow gray. That's fine. It's not a big deal. And I am going to actually try to layer the ribbon. So we're just gonna put down the first layer and let it dry. I don't know. We will see. Now I'm sure you could probably water these down a little more. I am painting a little more mass tone-ish, or mass tone here. You don't have to do that. Trying to use them to their fullest advantage as far as them being opaque is concerned. Colors are so muted but so pretty at the same time. I think I'm dropping brushes everywhere. I keep standing up so I can try to see how my illustration is going. I'm going to go with that purple 2. Let's add a little water to that. So this is gray purple or purple gray 2. And I'm gonna use that on the inside of that ribbon. And this paint doesn't really flow. It kind of stays where you put it, which is a good thing. And we'll darken this up. Kind of go ahead and get everything blocked in. The rest of everything blocked in. It's definitely almost like painting with a gouache. I guess we might as well just go ahead and do, here, let's mix some of this out. We might as well go ahead and just do the entire bow. Now I'm just kind of painting everything. I can still see my lines through this lighter color. So I'm just gonna go ahead and base in this bow. That way, in the next layer, we can just go ahead and finish everything up. Okay. I'm just getting down my lightest base color for the front of the bow. I'm actually okay with the sides of the bow being a little bit darker. Okay. It shouldn't take that too long to dry. It's not too wet. And let's go ahead and see if we can get some shadow in as well. Now, I was using this cool gray 2, so we're going to shoot for this. I mean, I used the cool gray 3, so we're going to shoot for the cool gray 2 to get down the base of our shadow here. Give our little ground, our macarons, and our bow. Make it look like it's holding on to something. Okay, and then from this side, and just like so. And let's grab number 3 here. And we'll go in and just drop it in and let it spread out right up under everything. Like so. And then we can sharpen up everything in the next layer. Okay. I think I like that. Let's let everything dry and then we'll wrap everything up with the final layer. All right, friends, let's go ahead and enter the home stretch here. I think we are good. I want to jump right in with the knocking out the back of that macaron real quick. Let's grab some of the darker blue and it'll layer a little bit better now. I'm gonna try to use just the tip of that brush to get in there. Get that dark in. Just so we can get some roundness on that macaron. And then I go in with a wet brush and just kind of blend in some areas. It's actually pretty easy to paint with, honestly. Kind of acts like a gouache, but it blends really well. All right, let's go ahead and add a little bit of that gray in here and a little bit of that black. Just touching it here and there. Want to make sure we have some definition in some areas. And then I'll go straight in with some of the lighter blue mass tone. Just kind of put a few little taps on there. Sort of like highlight itself, right? And grab that and see, I'm gonna get a cookie brush going on here, like so. And just let that be, I guess. I think I will. I think I'm gonna just let that be now. I do want to go in and put some of the some highlights on up here, and those will be the secondary highlights, and we'll put some darker highlights on with not darker highlights, but the lightest of the highlights on with trying to see where I had this with a white gel pen or some white gouache. So I'm gonna go here for sort of the second step, the purple gray 2. Just kind of base it in and let's see. This is gonna be a second step darker over behind here. And okay. Then I can take the third step. I'm just gonna go ahead and go straight in with the third step here. I'm not gonna worry about blending it. I'm gonna just go straight for the darkest of darks. Try to go ahead and wrap this up. And I've got another one on this side. End up making it bigger than I intended for it to be, but that's okay. All right. Now I need to add some darkness back here. Okay. I think I'm good on that. I'll go back in again with this second step here. And I'm thinking I'm gonna blend some of that second step. Just kind of hit and miss on different areas of the bow. And it's watered down, so I'm still gonna get some of my lighter color showing through. I'm going to take that in base coat the second step right here on the back ribbon. I'm gonna give it 2 seconds to start drying, and then I'll go back and put in some darker color. Switch over to my liner brush. I'm just gonna jump around from section to section trying to give stuff a chance to dry. I'm getting the purple grade 3, and I'm gonna start going in along the sides of the knot on my bow. Start kind of itching out my bow here. And the different dimensions of it. Let's see. Trying it so it's easier for me to paint, and see if I can kind of speed this up some. And I'm just trying to blend at this point. Went a little bit overboard with the angle, but the good thing is they will sort of reconstitute on the paper a little bit, which does make it much easier to blend them. Yes, it does. I think I'm gonna be okay with that. I'm not gonna worry too much about it. Just see. From here we would have turn my book back around so I can pull my stroke towards me, or push it away from me in the angle I would normally do it. Gotta make sure I follow the direction of the actual bow. And then let's just blend that down. The wheel. And this little liner brush seems to be working well. I mean, this is a very small area I'm working in though, so it should work well. But as far as the paints are concerned, you know, I haven't been disappointed with them, to say the least. It's all so interesting how they perform. And at this point, I'm just like kind of adding shadow to certain areas, but that's about it. Trying to blend some color into the bow. This is really not the proper brush for it, but it's working, so, you know. And that's where I had too much water on my ferrule, and it dripped down into my painting. So I have to lift it off and do it again. That's why you always want to check your brush and make sure that you don't have that extra paint kind of looming over your ferrule the way mine was just then. All right, I think that'll do on that. Let's go ahead and add in some more definition here. Just water down some more of that. And making sure it goes in a direction. Come back and blend the end of it. Switch up. Get that number 3 brush and see what happens when I try to blend her. Ended up re-wetting that area, but that's okay. And let's see, since it's wet, let's go ahead and blend from this end as well. Well, it's not too bad. Could definitely be worse. And let's see. Can we do about this opposite side over here? At this point, I'm just trying to make sure I have values right. It's not going to be perfect. Although I wish I could make it perfect. But I'm happy with good. Just good. See, and blend that. I don't know. I think I like that. It's really rustic looking. I'm gonna put just a little bit more of that number 2 color here and there. But I think I like this. Let's grab the liner brush back and go into the purple grade 3. And we're going to just almost outline it. Give it a just sort of lift the front of the bow a little bit. I think this will be good for it. And my paint is coming off my brush a little thick in areas. That's all my fault, but I don't know. I think I like this the way it is. Sometimes, you know, your senses just tell you, okay, it's time to stop. I think my senses are telling me that. Now you take yours as far as you want to. So I can blend it out just a little bit. Because it's a little thick. Okay, that's gonna do. Kind of feel like I still need to do some blending of color from this end just a little bit. And then just kind of blend. Blend both those ends. I just feel like I needed to get some more color down. And you know, you have to, you know, make your own judgment calls with your paintings. I like the fact that, you know, it is, it kind of is what it is. So let's partial lines back in. Those lines back in and make that helps you know it's a bow. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. Let's put in some highlights and call it a painting. Well, first, one other thing. I do want to put some of this darker color right under our object. And it's still pretty thick on there. And I'm going to blend it down. It's a warmer gray, so I didn't realize it until I put it down, so I hope it looks okay and doesn't look out, the shadow doesn't look out of place. kind of blend it to make it be a little seamless. Get rid of the harsh edges on the end of the paint if I can. If I can't, I'm not gonna really worry about it. All right. I think the only thing I want to do now is put in some highlights. So I'm gonna grab some gel pens. I'll get my Uniball and I'll just get all of them. Cause I have a bunch of white pens that I use simultaneously with the, just like I do black pens. Okay, let's see. I didn't want to go in there with any black, I don't think. I'm going to grab the number, the 0.8, and maybe put highlight in around the top part of the cookie here. All right. I'll do the same thing on my next cookie. And I don't know if you would really be getting like there, but why not? Why not? I really want you to put some more shadow on this end of my ribbon over here. So I'm gonna take time to do that. Just make minor adjustments at the end, right? Just to get some, I'll go ahead and blend that in. Just so it won't be any harshness there. And it'll dry fine. All right, let's see. Where was I? Let's go to the 0.1. And we'll put some little random ones, taking some cake texture. Actually, I want to make this one a little more pronounced. And this one as well. This one I will make all of the main ones a little more pronounced. Now let's see. And let's see. I'm trying to see where the highlight would be as far as the ribbon is concerned. At this point, I'm just kind of guessing where my lights will hit because I'm not painting from a reference photo. Kind of painting from imagination, and I think that's cute. I do. I think that is cute. We're gonna leave it just there. I don't want to go too far with it. I'm gonna sign it. And I'm trying to think, do I want to do some splatters? I think I might want to do some splatters. I think I do. Now, you don't have to splatter, okay? You don't have to splatter. You don't have to say anything about me splatter. You do not have to splatter. I think it's gonna give it a little life and vitality. So there I went with a little bit of that real light red. And then I think I'm gonna go in with some darker red, just a touch. And to keep it interesting, I'm gonna go in with darker blue. To keep it interesting. I think that's nice. Just a little bit, not too much. There we go. There you have it, friends. There is a nice, cute little macaron wrapped in a ribbon illustration for you guys in place of our regularly scheduled live. Now, hopefully up until this point, we've been having a pretty cool conversation inside the chat, or you drop whatever questions you've had. Now, if by chance you come up with a question outside of the live premiere, then by all means, don't forget to put it in the comments section if you're watching in replay. And yeah, I'll be happy to get back to you as soon as I can. Friends, do me a favor, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, sprinkle a little love, help push the video out there in front of other wonderful viewers like yourself. Is really going to help the algorithm. You can choose to share if you would like to. Sharing is caring, and of course it does the exact same thing. If you're new or returning and you haven't subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscription button so you can hang out with us over here in the thrifty community, and the notification bell will let you know wherever we go live and whenever we upload. The video description is going to have all of the relevant links. You can check me out on all of the social sites. I'm still trying to build a follower over on Instagram for those who are interested. You can check out Palm Street, where we have our monthly sales at. There's going to be Patreon, where you can find free membership, or hit the membership tab and check out what comes along with the Creation Station if you would like to join along with all of those creative artists on the creative journey that we take together. There's the most recommended product list and just all of the good things. So go out, enjoy your week. I'll see you back here Wednesday for our pre-recorded drop at 10 a.m. as long as everything stays the same. And then, of course, Friday we'll be dropping the review on these actual paints as long as everything stays the same. Enjoy your week. And remember, as I tell you at the end of every single video, my friends, just keep creating. Thank you.